Welcome to the explainer. All right, let's talk about a big number, 1 crore rupees. For so many people, it's the ultimate dream, right? Becoming a crore pateti. But here's the shocking part. Almost nobody actually gets there. Today, we're going to dig into why. Okay, just let this number sink in for a second. 98%. According to financial experts, that's the percentage of the Indian population that will never reach a net worth of 1 crore. We're not talking about a small group. We're talking about pretty much everyone. So you have to ask, why? Why is this goal, this dream that so many of us share, so ridiculously hard to hit? Well, it turns out it's not just about how much money you make. It goes way, way deeper than that. It's all about our mindset, our behaviors, and a few really common traps that, well, most of us fall into. Let's unpack it. First things first. Before we even get into talking about stocks or mutual funds or real estate, forget all that for a minute. The biggest battle you're ever going to fight isn't with the stock market. Nope. It's with the person you see in the mirror. The whole game is won or lost right up here in your head. And this is really the heart of it all. Building wealth isn't just a math problem you can solve on a spreadsheet. It's psychology. Things like impatience, fear, that constant desire to get a quick win, those are the biggest roadblocks. We are literally our own worst enemy.
And this timeline shows you exactly why our psychology fails us. This is the brutal truth of compounding. Look at this. It takes a full 10 years to make your first crore, but the second one only takes 4 years. The third, just 3. And to get from 9 crores to 10, a mere 10 months. The problem is, most people check out during that long, slow 10-year slog at the beginning. It feels like nothing's happening, so they give up, right before the magic is about to happen.
Which brings us to this perfect analogy. You know that feeling at airport security? You're in a long line, the one next to you seems to be moving faster, so you switch. And then what happens? Your old line suddenly speeds up, and you're stuck. That's exactly what people do with their investments. They're constantly jumping from one hot stock to the next, and all that activity just leaves them further behind. Okay, so this impatient mindset, how does it actually show up in our real-world financial decisions? Well, it leads people straight into what experts call the 3 great Indian wealth traps.
And here they are. First, this obsession with owning a physical house, as if it's the only investment that truly matters. Second, the irresistible lure of fast money, people chasing huge profits in derivatives or on gambling apps. And third, the big one, funding a lifestyle with credit cards and loans instead of actual savings. These 3 behaviors are basically wealth destroyers.
And if you want proof of that get-rich-quick mentality, just look at these numbers. They're kind of wild. We have about 5 crore people systematically investing through SIPs. That's great. But then you look at a single fantasy sports app, and there are 58 crore users. That's more than 10 times the number of people. It shows you exactly where our focus is. We're betting on a quick jackpot instead of building something real. And this quote from Warren Buffett just nails it, doesn't it? It's the perfect summary of the consumption trap. You buy stuff you don't need, probably on credit, to impress people. And what happens down the line? You're forced to sell the things you actually need, your investments, your assets, just to pay for it all. Okay, so we've spent a lot of time on what not to do. So what's the actual path forward? Well, the solution is a really simple but powerful 2-part strategy that basically flips the old way of thinking on its head. Here's how it works. Pillar number 1, build your engine. Now, your engine is you. It's your skills, your career, your ability to earn money. Your main job, especially when you're young, is to make that engine as powerful as you can. Then, once that engine is running smoothly and generating cash, you move to pillar 2, choose your vehicle. This is where you put that cash into assets that can grow for you. And the choice of vehicle is absolutely critical. You see, with financial assets like stocks or mutual funds, you're investing in the growth of the economy itself. You're backing businesses and innovation. On the other hand, non-financial assets like real estate or gold, their value is really just driven by supply and demand. It's much more passive. And if you want to see why that choice makes such a massive difference, look at this. The result is just staggering. Let's say you invest 1 crore in an asset that grows at 8%. In 20 years, you'll have around 11 crores. Not bad. But if you put that same 1 crore into businesses growing at 18%, you could end up with 132 crores. I mean, it's not even in the same league. That's 12 times more wealth.
So let's apply this idea to that home ownership obsession. Here's a smarter way. Instead of taking all your savings for a down payment and locking it into a house, what if you invested it? And then, instead of paying a massive EMI every month, you started an SIP with that same money. Let it grow for 10 or 15 years. Then, you can take that much, much bigger pile of cash and buy your dream house outright. No loan, no debt. The house becomes a reward, not a 20-year financial chain.
This brings us to our final section, and honestly, it might be the most important one of all. What if chasing a specific number, like 1 crore, is actually missing the entire point of building wealth in the first place?
I mean, really think about this question. What is the point of spending your entire life grinding and saving to accumulate a fortune if you forget to actually live a good life while you're doing it? It's a reality check that forces us to zoom out and ask, what am I really working for here? Because at the end of the day, a truly wealthy life, it isn't just measured by a bank balance. It's about finding your personal definition of enough. It's about prioritizing things money can't buy, like your health, your time, and your relationships. It's about investing in experiences, stopping the comparison game, and finding that perfect balance between saving for tomorrow and living for today.
So the ultimate takeaway is to build a rich life, not just a rich portfolio. The real question isn't whether you'll die rich, but whether you're living rich today. And if you can master that, well, you're already in the top 1%, no matter what your net worth happens to be.